Pupils, parents and campaign groups are outside the High Court today protesting the implementation of VAT on private school fees. That's right, they're going to the law over this. Lawfare is back. I'm Adam Cherry and this is GBN Originals. So pupils, parents and teachers were in the High Court today. It's the first of a 3-day judicial review in the High Court. Why are they there? Well, they're challenging the government's implementation of VAT on private school fees. They say it's discriminatory and it's even illegal. And I was there earlier today to chat to them about it. This is what they had to say. Leanne, Charlie, just tell us a little bit about why you're here today.
So we are here because the VAT on school fees, in particularly for children like Charlie, is really discriminative. There are a lot of children in independent schools that aren't like rich people, which has been advertised widely in the media. We are groups of people who, in Charlie's case, literally cannot access education anywhere else other than in an independent setting.
So since the introduction of that VAT on school fees in January, what's been the impact for you guys specifically?
So I'm currently working 7 days a week. I work early in the morning till late at night. We've had a 14% increase in our fees, so the school has swallowed part of the increase, but it's still had a massive effect on us. The long and the short of it is, this isn't sustainable working like this, and we need this legislation to be thrown out.
I go to Beeston Hall. It's a small independent school near Sheringham by the coast.
And so what opportunities are afforded to you there? Why is it important that you're there, right? What do they offer you?
Because they are really brilliant. Their class sizes are small because I can't go in large class sizes because I have hearing problems and neurological problems which make it very hard to be in a large class size. So they're very small, like 12 kids in a class. The school is really great because they are so acceptable, and they are really good because they agree to everything. So it's really important for you to get the support you need. Yeah. Absolutely right, and so the smaller class sizes means that Charlie, I'll bring this back to you as well, means that Charlie gets the attention he needs to cope with and get on with his schooling, right? And it's in Charlie's case particularly, it's simply the fact that in a larger class he wouldn't be able to hear what was going on, he wouldn't be able to take part in the lesson. They also give him opportunities to succeed, which Charlie's obviously got a physical disability, so mainstream sports are out of the question for him. However, they do shooting and things there, so Charlie's been able to compete in that to a really high level and get medals and things like that. So it's not just the day-to-day of the fact that he can't access education, it's the fact that this school gives him the opportunity to success, builds his confidence, and it also, I think the thing that's been forgotten here is that we're building people's futures so that they are not reliant on the state sector in future. This is very short-sighted. There's a lot in the media at the moment about cutting back benefits for disabled people and all of that. If you don't give disabled people an actual education and you don't give them the opportunity to succeed, what's going to happen in 20 years' time? They're all going to be relying on the state again.
Yeah, I was there earlier today. It's the first day of 3 in the High Court. It's being led by the Independent Schools Council and a campaign group called the Education Against Discrimination. There's another group there as well. They've raised around £200,000, their war chest for this. Of course, one of the main arguments, and you're going to chat to, I guess, shortly about this, is that the 20% tax on private school fees actually disproportionately affects those with special needs who need more singular care, more attention, might be in a wheelchair or so on. So it's really hard on them, and their parents are working double time. They're working two or three jobs to try and cover what has been implemented here since January. So it's a big case, as I say. We're only on day 1 of 3, but it's a huge one. And if it goes against the government, it was in their manifesto, so it'd be a massive blow to their credibility. OK, Adam Cherry, thank you very, very much. We can now speak indeed with the parents campaigning and who was at the High Court today, and it's Leanne Guns. Leanne, welcome to the show. Your son has a very intensive need. He has a neurological condition and he needs special education, which is best serviced for you at a private school. Tell us more about your boy's requirements and why you're so incensed at this VAT raid.
So for my son in particular, it's really difficult because there isn't actually any education offering in the state sector whatsoever. He's super bright, so therefore the specialist provision isn't suitable, but equally he would not be able to access education in a large class size. He's in year 7 now, so we're looking at senior schools. And as you all know, senior schools are huge, aren't they? They have big classes, 30 plus children in a class. He has a hearing impairment, he has sensory needs, and he uses a wheelchair, and he just would not be able to access any form of education. So for him, we literally do not have any other option but to look at the independent sector.
And Leanne, there's a huge misconception that this is entitled, privileged parents who are angry about a raid on their bank accounts. But your boy, your wonderful boy, Charlie, like, he needs this TLC. He needs this attention. This is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And I believe you have to wait until January 2026 for a tribunal decision. In the meantime, this leaves you, understandably, very distressed and financially hard up.
Exactly. I think this is what it's been marketed as a tax on the rich. But actually, it's not affecting the people that are rich. It's affecting people like us, normal, everyday working people that are working really hard to give our children an education that they can access. We're not even looking at this as a luxury. We are looking at it as a basic human right for your child to learn in a school. Like, it's not like we're asking for a lot. And for people like me that are ordinary working mums, it's having a massive impact. So I'm currently working 7 days a week. I start work first thing in the morning, like 5 a.m, do a couple of hours work before I take him to school, and then I'm back home working in the evening. And it's been relentless.
Can I just say, first of all, you're a wonderful parent. You're working your socks off, for your boy. You are absolutely a credit to yourself, to your family, to your child, to the nation. So well done on that. And honestly, I'm getting a bit choked here myself now. I've got 2 kids and I know I'll die for my children. And you're putting yourself through the mill. Do you hope, do you pray that there'll be a resolution here, Leanne?
I really hope so, not just for our children, who are obviously disproportionately affected, as you mentioned earlier, but just for education as a whole. Taxing education is the most ludicrous piece of legislation I've ever seen. It's like a tax on ambition, it's a tax on people's futures. We have seen in the news recently loads and loads of hoo-ha about PIP and about state for disabled people. Well, sorry, but the disabled community still needs an education. If you want them to be like productive members of society, they need to be educated and educated well in a way that they can actually access it. One size education does not fit all, and that's unfortunately what the Labour government's pushing onto us at the moment.
Well, Leanne Guns, once again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for soldiering on all that hard work. I hope it pays off, and, love to your boy. I wish you the very, very best. I really, really do. Thank you. We're both getting a bit emotional here. You take care, darling.
Thank you.
What can you say, Adam? What can you say? These are parents that would just give their entire lives for their kids, and I think they're being typecast and they're being misread by this story. I really, really do.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? I think the government's position on this is that it'll affect, the Eatons and the Winchesters and the parents who have the most cash. Really, it affects those, the cases like Leanne, where they're scraping together the cash to support their children. And actually, those are the ones who lose out in this sort of situation.
Indeed.
So there you have it. It is the first day today in the High Court. It's a 3-day court hearing. And if the judges rule against the government over this, that's a massive blow to their credibility. Don't forget, it was one of the few measures which actually appeared in their manifesto back in July. Of course, to keep on top of this story and all the others, subscribe to GB News on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GB News.